Well, everyone, there's some really interesting news that just came out, and it looks like the iPhone 14 Pro has actually just been re-released by Apple, which is actually very interesting. Now, what does this even mean? Well, as some of you may know, every single year, Apple goes through and they create the next generation of iPhone. So typically they'll make a new set of iPhones that most people will probably end up buying, and they end up removing some of the older ones. So typically every single year what ends up happening is whenever Apple makes a new Pro or Pro Max iPhone, they will go ahead and essentially make the cheaper iPhones as well, but they'll remove the last year's Pro and Pro Max iPhones. They do this every single year, and there's a business reason why they do this. But every single year, every once in a while, they will bring back these older Pro iPhones and all iPhones in their certified refurbished store. So what Apple did just the other day was that they brought back the iPhone 14 Pro, the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro Max, all in the certified refurbished store inside of their particular Apple website. So if you type in like Apple refurbished store online, you'll basically see all these like links to Apple's certified refurbished store, which is amazing. You can get really good discounts on a lot of different iPhones, and it's a really, really cool thing because they don't cost as much money as you may have expected. So in this case, with an iPhone 14 Pro, first of all, the 14s are costing about $619 for, the base model. So it's about, $70 cheaper, but Apple kind of says you can save $110 technically speaking. When you look at the iPhone 14 Pro, it's about $759 in the used market. So they're claiming you can save about $140 for these particular iPhones for the base model. Now, $759 to spend on a refurbished iPhone 14 Pro for an unlocked iPhone is actually not even that bad. And the reason for that, and the reason why it's not bad in my personal opinion, is because an iPhone like the iPhone 15 is still being sold for $799. So the fact that this thing is actually cheaper than that is actually quite impressive, and you're actually getting a pretty good discount for this type of iPhone. When you compare the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 15, I will definitely tell you there are lots of advantages of buying something like an iPhone 14 Pro over the iPhone 15, and you're definitely getting some really, really good prices on that particular iPhone in my personal opinion. So with something like the iPhone 14 Pro, I will tell you from that particular perspective, that's a pretty good, discount as well. And you can also get an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I think the base iPhone 14 Pro Max is about $849. So that in and of itself is another thing to keep in mind. But overall, what I'll tell you is that if you're wanting to buy any sort of iPhone right now, I do think if you want to, go ahead and buy something like the iPhone 14 Pro or 14 Pro Max in the used market. I think those are pretty solid options in my personal opinion. So that pretty much covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.